Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're gonna look at game number 1 in our 20 from 1983 series. This is the last game, of course, in this series, but before we get to game number 1, we need to look at the honorable mentions list, and this is the list of games that didn't quite make the top 20 cut. But first off, we're going to look at a game that might have been created late in 1982, but it was Nibbler by Rockola. And this was more popular later on. This is a snake game, and it's early on you don't move very fast. You're a snake that needs to eat all the food items in the maze and not run over his own tail. The game gets way hard late. See how fast he moves? Yeah, this game's really tough. But also, we're going to look at Irobot, a very cool full-color polygon game by Atari. You're a robot that moves around and tries to touch all the red spots in this area. Very cool-looking game. And you have to watch out because there's this giant eye that will fire at you if you're in the middle of jumping and kill you. Very cool-looking game, and you need to reach the end and touch the last red spot and kill the eye. Beautiful polygon explosion, and there's space shooting scenes as well. Now we're going to look at Tapper by Bally Midway, and this was a very cool game. You are a bartender and you serve beer to the various patrons, and they will send you an empty beer mug when they're done, and you can't let it fall. You can't let one of them fall. So you have to go collect them. They can also leave a tip. If they do and you go collect it, then they will watch some sort of entertainment. And if you try to throw a beer mug while they're not paying attention, then it'll crash and you'll lose a life. Kind of fun game. And this is Exerion by Jalico and licensed to Taito. This I really like. You can choose between rapid fire single shots or double shots. If you use rapid fire shots, it depletes your supply of them. Whoops. But this was a fun little game. Cool parallax scrolling. And there'll be other enemies as well that some of them might take extra shots to bring down. You have a nice sweeping motion of control. Cool game. And now we're going to look at Cliffhanger, and this was a laserdisc title. This was actually taken from Lupin movie called Castle of Cagliostro, and I think a TV series of Lupin. But it's like Dragon's Lair or something, where you just press the joystick or the action button at the right time to avoid death. I remember seeing this in the arcade. It was alright. And now we're going to look at Pole Position 2 by Atari, the sequel to Pole Position. And it's pretty much the same, except you can choose from 4 different tracks. But the graphics are smoother. The scrolling is smoother. It looks a little bit better in general. And now we're going to look at Up and Down by Corland and Sega. And this was kind of a cool 3/4 perspective kind of game. You can jump across to other parts of the track, and your goal is to collect all the different colored flags. And you can jump over the cars or slam into them and die, but you want to collect all the flags. That's your goal. Nice music, good action, forgiving collision detection. But now we're going to look at Hunchback by Century Electronics. And it's like Pitfall, kind of. It's got fixed screens in which you have to surpass numerous dangers. But you collect a bell at the end of each stage. And if you can successfully beat 5 stages or 5 screens without dying, you will get a super bonus. Like this. But there's various different dangers, many of which multiple are happening on the screen at once. Ooh, yikes, watch out for that arrow. And now we're going to look at Juno First by Konami and Gottlieb in 1983. It's an okay shooter. You have a warp button where you can reappear somewhere else on the screen. Just mow down all the enemies. You can bring them in from the horizon or send them back out. But the best thing about the game is you shoot a planetoid and you can collect this item that it leaves. For a short time you can shoot enemies for an increasing bonus. And now we're going to look at Junior Pac-Man, a game in the Pac-Man series. It's okay, but it's got a huge maze that scrolls around as you move left and right. And the prize in this game can actually turn the dots large, which makes them harder to gobble up. It makes you slow down. And the prize can also eat the energizers, the power pellets, or destroy it. Interesting. I saw it back in the day. It was alright. And now we're going to look at Guzzler by Tacon and Century. This is kind of a cute Pac-Man type of game. You're a little guy that collects water into his body, and he drowns out these fire-based enemies. And he needs to ultimately destroy the big flames to advance in the stage. Whoops. But that's how the game is played. I remember it. I enjoyed it in the arcades. And now we're going to look at Rock and Rope, and this was created by Konami. You're an explorer that's trying to climb this mountain. You got to watch out for cavemen and dinosaurs, and you shoot this grappling hook to try to get up to the higher floors. And the enemies can wiggle the grappling hook and make you fall to your death. But you want to reach the top where this phoenix-type bird is to beat the stage. You can use your flashlight to stun enemies. And now we're going to look at game number 1. And it is Dragon's Lair, created by Don Bluth Productions and Cinematronics. And Don Bluth was a Disney animator. And this game is a laserdisc title, and it is absolutely beautiful. You have a joystick and an action button, and you need to make the actions happen at just the right time. And there's the laserdisc player that goes inside the game. And here's the very cool attract mode.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant
this game, I guess, is also credited to Starcom.
Princess from the clutches of an evil dragon.
This game was super popular when it came out.
You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his
it
way
cost
through
like
the
2
castle
tokens
of a
or
dark
50
wizard
cents
who
at
has
least
inhabited
to
with
play.
treacherous monsters and obstacles.
But you see, the animation is beautiful. There is
In the mysterious caverns below the
there is
castle,
a
your
score
odyssey continues against
that
the
you see
awesome
above
forces
the
that oppose
screen.
your efforts to reach
I
the
do not
Dragon's
have the
Lair.
original arcade game, or can't replicate it well enough to
Lead
show
on,
that.
adventurer. Your quest awaits.
But each move that you make makes a little beep sound in the arcade, and I don't have that either, unfortunately. See, you got to have 2 coins. You get 5 lives, and the hero is named Dirk. You press the sword button to use the sword at the right time. And here we're going to get started. You start at the drawbridge, and you press sword here, and then up. And then the next scene is the crumbling ceiling. And here you press right twice, right, and then right again. And then is the tentacle room. Here you press sword, gross, and then right, and then down, and then left, and then up. And now we're going to look at the snake room. Press sword, and then sword again, and then right to climb to safety. And next is the fire ropes. And here you press right 4 times. Right, and then right again, and then right again. And here you got to press sword or you'll fall. And next is the pool. And here you press left, then up, and then right, and then up, and then left, and then up, and sword, and then up. And next is the Cauldron Room. You press up, and then you press sword, and then sword again, and then right to escape. Next is the Giddy Goons, and here you press sword, and then right, and then up, and then sword. And then next is the Tilted Stairs. Here you press left, and then sword, and then left twice. Yeah, you don't press up, you'll get killed. And next is the Smithy. Here you press sword, sword again, and then I think you press left, and then sword, and then you press sword again, and you'll stop the Smithy here. And then next is the Batons, and you have to learn to press up at the right time. You press up to make a move towards there, and I think on his third grunt you press up. And then you press sword to kill this guy, and then you press down to avoid the thorns, and then you press up. And next is the Hurricane Door. And you have to press right here. And then next is the Closing Wall, and you just push up there. You'll often see a flash to indicate when you need to press something. And next is the Lightning Room. Here you press right, and then up, and then left twice, and you'll move that bench. And next is the Flying Metal Horse. Press right, press left, and then right, and then left 3 times. Left, left, and left. Some of these games, or some of these stages will repeat but have opposite directions, and now we face the Black Knight. Press right, and then left, and then up, and then left, and then right, and then left and right, and then sword, sword. And you kill the Black Knight. But you'll see an iteration of him later on. Next is the Crypt Creeps. Press up, and then sword, and then up, sword again, and then left, and then sword to kill these guys. This game has hilarious deaths, and we'll look at those later. This is the Crumbling Walkway. Press up twice, and then sword, and then you press right to jump across to safety. And then the Reverse Fire Ropes. This is the same stage, but this time you press left 4 times. And then again, when you get to safety, you've got to press sword, or you'll lose your balance for some reason. This is the reverse pool, and this is the pool earlier. This time you go right, and then up, and then left, and then up, and then right, and then up, and sword and up. He sounds like Homer Simpson with his screams. It's kind of funny. And then the Bat Attack. This time you press sword, then you press left twice, and then you press sword, and then you press left. And now we have the Falling Platform. And here I think you press left, but you jump, or maybe it was right. Yeah, it's right. You gotta press towards the ledge right when you get there. If it reaches nine ledges, then and you wait after that, then you'll die. And we go to the reverse smithy, and this time it's sword 3 times, then right, and then sword twice. But yeah, there's a number of stages that'll repeat, and you'll have to have direction left and right reversed. And here's the metal horse again, and this time it's left and then right, and then left and right, and then right twice. There's some hilarious deaths on this stage if you don't make the right moves. And now we have the Lizard King. You press left, and then you press right 5 times at the right junctures. This has hilarious deaths too. He makes me laugh. And here you press up, sword, and then left, right, down, and sword, and you'll kill him. And the next stage is like the shortest. You get to the drink me room, you just press right. It's funny if he drinks the potion. This time we have the reverse Crypt Creeps. This time you press up, sword, and then right, and sword. Yeah, only the left and right directions get reversed the second time around. And this is the reverse batons. This doesn't have reversed directions, but I think it does come at maybe a slightly different angle. But you press up, sword, and then down, and then up. And this is the tilting room. You press down, and then up, and then left. And then this is the throne room. You press right, up, and then right twice. Right here to escape. And then here's the reverse Black Knight with the electric floor. Left, right, up, right, left, right, left, and then sword. Sword to pull it out of the sheath, and sword to kill him. He's very slow on the attack, the Black Knight is. Now this time, this is the second falling platform, and this time you press left. But it'll go choo choo choo, and it'll do that 3 times. And if you don't jump before that, then it'll plow through the floor and you'll die. And this is the Rowboat Ride. You'll have the ye boulders, rapids, and whirlpools. You go left, right, and left, and then right. And then in the rapids you press up 4 times right when you get to that main area there. And now we have the whirlpools. And you press right, and then left, and then right, and then left. And lastly, you'll need to press right here. And now we face the Mudmen. Here you press sword, but you realize it doesn't do anything against them. Sword, and then you will press up a total of 8 times. There. 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 And there. And now we'll face the Black Knight on the horseback. And you'll press left twice. You can't attack him. And then you'll press right to escape in this little hole. And now we see the boulders. And here you gotta press a total of 6 times downwards. And it'll break those boulders. The one rolling behind you will. And then lastly you will press up as you get to the hole to jump over it. Right there. And now we go to the electric cage with a bridge. And you will press up 3 times. And then you will press left at the right time to cross the lava bridge. And now we go to the reverse Rowboat Ride. Here you will press right and then left, or left, right, or right, left, excuse me. Got that right, I get that wrong. Then you press up 4 times here again when you enter the middle part there. And then you go to the whirlpools again. Press right, left, and then right, and then left. And this time you gotta press right. I think this just repeated the same as before without the reverse directions. And now we're in the last area. This is the Dragon's Lair. Gotta press up to catch things so they don't make a noise and wake up Singe the dragon. And there's Daphne, the guy that he's trying to protect. You gotta press left twice to escape his flame. And then he's smelling for Dirk. And then you gotta press down to catch these. Although his screaming should alert Singe, I would think.
The cage is locked with a key.
She's such a bimbo. And she has pointy boobs and pointy nipples.
Use the magic sword.
And now you gotta press, I think, down twice to keep from getting crushed. And then left. Yeah. And then you press up, I think. And then down. And then you press, I think, right. Yeah. And here you will press sword twice. Sword to pull it out, and then sword again to block his fire. And then you gotta press left to dodge his tail. And then sword again, and you've beaten Dragon's Lair. What a beautiful game. But it's all about memorization and timing. And then Daphne jumps into your arms. And that's Dragon's Lair. But now we're going to see some of the funniest deaths in Dragon's Lair. This is so many of them are just hilarious. Well, let's go ahead and look at them. That's what it looks like when you come back from a death. Not sure what the spider was doing. Just his goofy expressions and screams. He sounds very much like Homer Simpson from the Simpsons. Maybe that's where the voice actor got inspiration, was Dragon's Lair. Screaming like a little girl. That's one of my favorite deaths. This was the drink me room. That was a strange one. He's just trapped. I like that one too, the Mudman. Squished Dirk. And that's when you run out of lives. Well, that was Dragon's Lair, game number 1 in our 20 from 1983 series. I thank you for watching, and I had fun with this. Nice little trip to the past to 1983. Well, very soon we will be looking at my 20 from 1984 series. Hope you join me then. Hope you have a fantastic Halloween, everybody. Thank you for joining me for my 20 from 1983 series, and I'll see you soon with 20 from 1984. Bye-bye, folks.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. 'Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.